Lovely. Thank you very much to all of you, and thank you especially to your team at NPTIP, Martin, Anna, and Juliet, obviously, who has given me an opportunity to be part of the speaker here today. I am really delighted, and I'm glad I joined in earlier on to be part of the team to sort of take this forward. Now, the subject that has been given to me sounds really exciting because that's something that I think we talked about the impact COVID has had on all of us. And I think one of the things that has really opened up a lot of doors in terms of expanding in the rest of the world, in terms of how we can spread our wings through our businesses and what opportunities have arisen. So in order to do that, I think it's a lovely, lovely team here. And I thought we'll do a little interactive discussion. So it would be nice if everybody could come back on the video so we could have an interactive discussion rather than talking to names. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes. Thanks, Krishna. Please, I think it's very, very important that if we can turn on our videos, because sometimes personally I find it not so comfortable when I talk to still images. You see, so I think we have to make it as interactive as much as we can by turning on our videos. Please, thank you.
And it also, like I assume this is an interactive discussion because it would be nice to know everything about everybody. So we will start off then. I will share my screen of a PowerPoint and see how we can make this a brilliant session. You've given me a lot of time, so thank you for your generosity. So we're going to talk about building a network of entrepreneur success and how can we be successful. So I think we need to get to know our team. So I mean, obviously, I think you gave me a great introduction, Martin. So I'll tell you a bit about the skills I bring to this network in terms of how we can make it a successful entrepreneur. What skills do we bring? So maybe an introduction by everybody, a little bit of sharing and exchanging about the background that we come with. So in terms of how we can develop the success of the network. So who would like to go first in terms of talking about it? I would say I come up with an IT background and a leadership role. Would anybody like to come forward and talk about the skills they bring in terms of making sure that they become a success?
Martin should go first.
Yeah, Martin.
Okay, I like challenges. I wouldn't mind. So I think the ask here is to talk about our background professionally, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
All the skills that we bring to become a successful.
All the skills that we bring to become successful, or our skill we currently have that might make us successful, isn't it?
Right.
Okay. Right. Okay. So professionally, I'm an IT business analyst. So I come from the IT background, obviously.
IT background. Yeah, brilliant.
Yes. So I work with one of the leading financial services here in the UK, as part of the technical and the IT and innovations team, delivering transformational projects that can help streamline their business processes, activities, and so on and so forth. So I've led several.
So more like an analyst.
Yes, correct. I've led several initiatives that have seen cost reduction, massive savings, and the delivering of technologies that has helped several organizations, not just the one I'm currently in, but others here in the UK and outside of the UK, sort of better manage their resources. See, so we are on the side of, we call it lean initiatives. So we trim down things, where people are involved. We try to replicate those with technology. So yeah, that's
you're one of the people that's kicking us out, kicking human capacity out.
Unfortunately, not unfortunately. Fortunately, we try to make human lives easier. You see, by replacing repetitive tasks we sort of, digitizing those, making them as automated as possible, really. So we just make life easy for everyone. But unfortunately,
Brilliant.
sometimes it falls the other way around. People feel as if we are trying to eliminate human intervention in things, but quite the opposite, really. So yeah, that's my sort of background, really. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic!
Thank
Great. All right. Do we have another volunteer here?
Jeff?
Yes, Tare?
Yes, I'm a cybersecurity engineer. I've worked for both the private and the government sector. So based on your question, how to become power to do each of bring us. Okay, well, I've done quite a lot of certification to make me a better IT engineer. Also, having the quality of a leadership as well. Also being able to pass on whatever I've learned to other people who needs my skills. Not just my educational skills, but also having a good and quality leadership skills as well, which has also helped me to progress in my career. And yes, that's
Brilliant.
That's it for me.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you.
Got Jules.
Brilliant. Who have we got next?
Jules?
Can
Go
I?
on.
Yes, hello, everyone. Yes, so basically, what I was going to say is that, yeah, I mean, I've been in a bit of a difficult situation because, you see, because I, for the last, well, more than a few years, I had mental health issues, which meant I had to see psychiatrists, and I basically was put on benefits. So I basically can't work, and that's also an interesting feature because sometimes it seems to be that in the mental health arena, once you have a condition, it's very difficult to come out of the system. I find a lot of people that you're kind of labelled and you're stuck with something, with a diagnosis or whatever. So you're having to think of ways to work around it in order to be able to, for example, perhaps it's more of a question of volunteering rather than working. But I have had quite a couple of, because I'm interested in health, and you sort of attract, the people you're interested in working with. And I've had quite a few people from working for private health, businesses coming forward asking me if I'd like to network with them. Obviously, that makes things difficult. If you're on benefits, they may take away your benefits if you start work. So it's all about a recalculation of whether it's feasible or not, and that's the difficult part. But I think that with anything like this, it's from what I've heard, it's a lot of it is to do with marketing. So marketing your products in the right way, offering to solve people's problems. So, for example, if someone has a health condition, obviously I'm not a doctor, but I can say I've read about this type of condition and that it can be helped by, for example, drinking aloe juice. That aloe juice has various vitamins which could alleviate certain symptoms in your condition. So I listen to a lot of speakers who are, PhD level, health biologists. And
Jules, I'm glad you are here because this is one of the reasons what we will be discussing it. And I'm glad you're sharing your in-depth knowledge. Can I then move on because you're coming in with a lot of your well-being needs, and we will be talking about that. Yeah. Can we have the next one? Can we just stick to 2 minutes because I'm conscious of the restricted time that we have here.
Juliet?
Yeah. Thank you.
Juliet?
Yes, President, we can hear you. Anna, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, I'm just calling on Juliet.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you are calling on people. Okay.
You've heard about me already. My introduction is just simple: African Wonder Woman, and I'm popularly known as just. My background is on social sciences. I said it earlier on, and of course, community development. So Krishna, I work very closely with her. I love project management, but above all, I love abundance and love, and I love connecting and building businesses. And that is why I'm here. I'm just so excited to listen to how I can build a more network of entrepreneurs to be successful, not just my welfare, but now I want the money. That is why I want to listen to Dr. Krishna. And by the way, for those who don't know, she's a doctor. Let me just say that. She doesn't like to be called doctor, but she's Dr. Krishna as well. And I love her to bits. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliet. I'm just one individual and call me Krishna, please. Thank you. If you could have the next one, please. Who wants to volunteer? Anna?
Sorry, Ngo. You're on mute, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, all. My name is Tara Ingo. I'm a petroleum reservoir geoscientist with over 19 years work experience in the energy industry. Due to career advancement purposes and also to contribute to the current challenges the world is facing as a result of climate change, I'm currently pursuing a PhD program in renewable energy technologies here in the UK. And that has accorded me the opportunity for some networking in that regard. I'm a member of the Center for Global Energy Policy, which is a very powerful network resource to achieving the popular net zero targets in terms of the direction the energy world is going currently. It's a very powerful network, and one is building more of those networks because energy is related to sustainable development. And also for us to attain the sustainable development goals, which are 17 of them, it is very pertinent that we tackle the issue of climate change. So networking with different bodies, there's the UN, the COP, the International Renewable Energy Association, and many of them,
Oh, wow,
So,
fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Tari.
So it's an opportunity for one to network and contribute positively to
Thank you very much, Tari.
development. Thank you.
Thank you, Tari.
Yeah.
Dr. Krishna, I think other people here having issues with the other ones are actually having issues with their microphone. So I think Dr. Walter said that, and others have actually privately texted me. So yeah.
Okay, no worries. I understand. I mean, it is nice because I think all of you come with fantastic background, and I mean, I'm just trying to think, what can I show as in terms of how can we sort of build up a network of entrepreneurial success. So we'll go on to the next one. How would you build a network of entrepreneurs? What is your high dream? Because everybody wants to be successful. So how do we define our dreams? Who wants to go first then? Walter, you're on the phone. Why don't you come online then? Is Walter there? Sorry. I can see his photo, but is he online, Anna?
He's actually online, but Walter said he had issues with
his thing. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So can we talk about dreams? Anybody who wants to volunteer, because I don't want to name anybody. Yeah, please. What are the dreams? Dreams could be how do we want to be successful in terms of,
So I'll go first. So Dr. I would love to be successful, and I've always wanted my good health. And so health and wealth for me comes first. But on top of that, there is this issue of, I think, materialistic issues, which Krishna, sometimes when people look at material stuff, they think that it's really what life is all about. So I'm interested to understand how you build a great network, but not just building a network, but how that network also can add value and also create that kind of linkages that we see in the successful how you, and especially within the Asian community as compared to African communities, we see a wealth of business success, sort of. So that's why I thought I'm very much interested to hear how you people sort of like do. And just to add it on, Walter is from the background of transport, and Jeff is also come from my side. I think he can type what his background is there from.
No worries. That's fine. It's not about background. Yeah, thank you, Julie, and thanks for stepping in. It's about the dreams. What do we want to do to be successful in terms of building up a network, you know? So do we want to be able to reach more people and extend our areas of work with confidence and competence? Because obviously we all want to be successful in what we do. So that's why I was trying to think about what everybody's dreams are. Do we want clarity and be more systematic in developing our own entrepreneurship? Or do we want to be confident in a single view of our clients' interaction? Because we all have different entrepreneurs. And how do we build up and get more on the way to success? What could be the key enablers, you know? So does anybody want to share their dreams here before I move on to the next one? I want an interactive audience, and I hope...
Now that you've made it easy for your question, I want to build, I would love to build an empire of where people can find their sense of purpose. That is what I really love doing. You know, that is, if I can just get people to understand how to make a difference in the world, then I feel I'm a winner.
Yes. Brilliant. So what is holding us back in inputting to the solution? So I will then go on to, because I think we need to now gel up and move forward. If our high dream is building up confidence and building an empire, what is the low dream then, you know? As an individual, I am. So are we all into business? Because all of you have got fantastic backgrounds. What are we trying to achieve right now? What would you like your change journey to be? What is the current status? So can we have an example here? Tari, you are doing an amazing work within the energy field, yeah? Yes? And where would you like to go to in terms of your journey? Sorry, I've just seen you, so I thought I'll ask you. Yeah. Where would you like to go to?
Yeah. Generally, I would like to get to a point where my research would have a positive impact towards resolving the issues surrounding electricity, energy related problems in Nigeria, especially.
Yeah.
Currently, and quite for several decades, Nigeria is plagued by very terrible energy insecurity issues.
Right.
So there is persistent power disruptions in Nigeria. So that actually affects the industrial development and then the quality of life of the population of that country.
So making a difference to so many lives in the interim, isn't it?
So I would like to get to a point where my efforts will contribute towards resolving that challenge.
Right. Brilliant. So that you already have your planned journey in terms of where you want to do it. So anybody else wants to come in here before we go as to how we go about doing this? Anybody wants to volunteer? Sorry, I'm not trying to.
I was just going to say that, as I already discussed my situation, so everyone knows that that my dilemma is, feeling like sometimes there are options available, which can be a good thing, but then it can make it harder to decide what you really want to do. Is I'm having that kind of dilemma of, do I want to sort of go into the health field? Or I have a friend who, for example, he works in a building company and sort of working, in kind of acquisitions, so it's about like deciding, I think, on your values, because I think at the end of the day, it's, if you end up doing something you're not very good at, it could be quite costly to your health. But at the same time, you have to do things. In my situation, where you haven't been working for a long time, sometimes it's good to work for someone, because you get you get experience, but also you get the references at the end, and then you can use that to kind of, build up on your network, when you have someone saying, this one, she knows how to sell, blah, 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 so it's like getting a positive report from someone can be quite helpful if you're building up a business, somebody, but also if you're, like in business, you have to be able to promote, whether it's your products, you have to be able to give a lot of time to expanding that business. So it's about putting on short films about what you're selling, constantly interacting with your customers, like thanking them for buying your stuff, asking them to write reviews, and all this sort of thing. So there's a lot of marketing involved, a lot of social media involved in that.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk more about social media as well shortly, because obviously that is what is the impact of COVID has really had an impact on that as well, in terms of how we reach out. Yeah. Thanks, Jules. Any more volunteers to contribute before we move on to the next one? No, nobody wants to say anything. Right. So we'll go on to how could we, we have talked about the dreams, we've talked about the current status that we are in, and what is the change journey looks like. So obviously, when you want to be a successful person, you need to have an idea in terms of what are your goals and what are you planning to achieve, because people want to go into business in different fields. So every different field has got different goals and different practical outcomes. And how do you measure them, So we have heard from Tari about his goals in terms of making sure that there is the country gets amazing security and the energy that it needs to have. So that's his goal. And Tari, do you want to go forward in terms of what practical outcomes that you think you will achieve if you plan your goals? Sorry, you are muted.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Basically, achieving sustainable development goals, 17 of them, is at the crux of what I'm doing, and that is also the basis of the UN Sustainable Development and Goals, and energy security, provision of a reliable energy, provision of affordable energy is at the bottom line of all this, and sub-Saharan African nations, including Nigeria, they are seriously behind in the scheme of things. And from the Niger Delta region where I come from, based on which this NDPID is formed to principally try to contribute towards resolving the environmental impact of the exploration and exploitation of the oil and gas resources in our land, has actually propelled me into making this move. We all know, especially people that from the region, from Nigeria, they know where they call the Port Harcourt. It's the main oil city in the country. If you go there, in fact, the environmental pollution is very, very sad. You know, you move in Port Harcourt, suits,
and it's improving and it's getting better. And this is why we are meeting in terms of how we can be more successful in doing that. So you have an idea in terms of how you will be measuring your outcomes in terms of goals? I'm sure you have. You've been muted now, Tare. Yeah. Tari, I can't hear you. Sorry. I think you're on mute.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, no worries. I don't know why you got muted. No worries. Thank you very much for sharing that. So I will then move on to how we go forward in terms of getting these goals sorted. Yeah. So what are the boundaries? You've talked about the security. Yeah. You talked about what are the boundaries at present? It's the energy. Do you want to talk a bit more in detail about where you're having difficulties in developing your goals?
What we are seeing normally, like a renewable energy, you know, is the direction, is the way out from the energy crisis in Nigeria. And so we are proposing, we're going to carry out studies on how to deploy renewable energy technologies into the energy mix in Nigeria, you know. Yeah. So it's about energy transition, you know.
Right.
So there are a lot of strategy that have been put in place to transit into from current fossil fuel energy, which is not a clean energy, it's a polluting form of energy. It is more expensive, you know, into renewables, you know.
Okay. So have
the main challenge there will be infrastructural development. Then there's a policy angle from the government. They need to put in place, they have a policy issues, you know, that the government need to be resolved with the government to support intending financiers, you know.
Right. So have you identified the partners or stakeholders for you to have this outcome? Like, because it's a very big project at a country level. Have you identified any of this? So what sort of work are you doing on it? Sorry, I'm asking this because these are the same questions that come up with anything that you want to develop. This is just an example. I'm glad Tara is sharing his thoughts. But this is like when you want to develop a business, when you want to go out and reach out, you have to have a project plan. I'm sure Martin will agree to that. In terms of how do you take and expand your network into creating business and also at the end of the day earning money, like you're stepping up to what you want to do. So this is just the basic that is very important. And that's why I'm like having an interactive discussion to see how we can take it forward. So have you identified any partners for your delivery?
Actually, you know, there's a negotiation going on, you know, with some bodies. For instance, there's this partnership between the World Bank and GIZ. GIZ is a German agency for development in developing the renewable sector in Africa. So my supervisor and the director of studies is part of that team, and aligning my research into that group. You know?
Right. Oh, thank you. So I think that's very interesting. So you already have an idea in terms of what you want to do and what, so you need to have a good team in terms of who you would be getting together, because it's such a big project. And obviously you need a very, very effective team to make a difference in terms of achieving your goal. So then we go on to, like, obviously, once you have a team and all that, you will have issues. What issues that we need to do to overcome. And this is just not your particular project. I mean, Jules talked about the difficulty she has on welfare benefits and her well-being needs, and how does she overcome. And she has also come up with being available to go and volunteer because she can't work, because obviously people on benefits, and we know there are times that if they go to work, they feel that they don't get enough money than what they get on the benefits, or they do not have the skills. And people have different issues. I'm not talking personal
issues. Yeah, and it's also, it's not about sort of stopping yourself and saying, oh, I've had mental health issues, therefore I will never work and earn money like everyone. But it's about doing it in a very clever way, so that you build up the skills first, and then once you feel secure in the field you're in, and you've built up a little bit of working here and there, then you can say to yourself, well, can I afford to come off benefits? If I feel I'm doing well, maybe this is my chance to, you know,
it's your safety net. It's your safety net, but that is because it happens in UK, but in other parts of the world people do not have that safety net. And I think we're talking as a general audience in terms of how do people overcome the issue, because there may be some people going through poverty and they want to really work hard in terms of building up their own business, so they can start up like cooking or something and start selling, and how they can make an entrepreneurial business, you know. So we will be coming and talking about reaching out to the wider community, and also the setbacks that we have in UK compared to the other parts of the world, you know, at times. So obviously any successful business or entrepreneur will need to look into the issues that they need to overcome to move on to being successful. So who are the target audience? What sort of segment are you looking into? What do you want to? So for instance, if you're going to be selling baby clothes or something, then you need to decide who do you want to reach out to, what type of audience you need, you know. Also, in terms of the user needs, what does the audience require from you? So, for instance, Martin talked about his IT stuff and the IT background that he comes with in terms of his use of digital tools and all that. So perhaps, you know, if people want to go into IT industry and want to overcome all the issues that they face, then they see how it can make it better, you know. So I'm just mentioning details, but there is a process when people are trying to make a change, and I think this is a right one for you, Jules, is because what do we fear losing? Because obviously in terms of taking any new initiative, there's always that fear at the back of the head in terms of what are we going to lose if we change especially the impact of COVID has made people realize what they want to do, because so many people, I mean, a lot of people lost a lot of businesses, and they've now turned into a way of developing in terms of how do they work. A lot of people went on to furlough scheme in UK, but I mean, in other parts of the world, a lot of people have lost a lot of business, especially people who are daily wage earners, and they haven't really earned enough because they went into lockdown and they feared losing about that income. So they were putting their lives at risk to go and earn their daily bread, you know. So there is a lot of things that we can talk about. What do we fear losing? But then where do we need bravery? You know, people are very brave. They want to make sure they want to reach out and make a lot of money at the same time. So this is what we will be talking about shortly. And I will then come on to how are we going to do this? What approach are we going to use? The specific activities that we will need to use to be sort of able to overcome the disadvantages that we have. Now, what I will do is I will stop sharing at this stage and we'll have an interactive discussion in terms of, sorry, I just wanted to use that as part of a debriefing in terms of how we move forward. And I hope you would now be more interactive with me in terms of discussing. Now, I'll give you an example. What has happened is we at the Women All Ladies League, which is possible all over the world, it is a network of women. Our mission for 2022 is to reach out to 1 million women. So far, we have reached out to 250,000 women. And our mission next year is reaching out to 1 million women. So how are we going to achieve that? We have got networks all over the world, yeah? So what I'll do is I'll share you a bit about, we have, with the impact of COVID, we created a network where we made sure that we promote all women in terms of developing their products and become successful and also reaching out. So we call it a she economy. So I will share that screen with you and you'll see how many types of things that we do in the she economy. So it's a free listing. Everybody is welcome to come and sell things that they want to. It's all free. You become a free member and reach out. And as you can, I don't know, can you see? I've tried sharing it. Have I shared? Can you see my screen share?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought I'd shared it. Yeah, that's where it is. You know, I don't know. So she economy, I think it's a bit of, and people can reach out, and I'll tell you, it has been,
It says,
yeah.
it said you started your screen sharing, but we can't see it yet. Yes.
It's called She Economy. That's our website. And what we do is we have
So you're on mute, Krishna. Sorry.
to mute. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's better.
But you can see the screen share, can you?
No, we can't. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what has happened. Just a minute. Yeah, I think something has gone wrong. Right. I'll share it again. So, right. I hope you can see my screen on
yes.
sellers. So what we have done is the She Economy is a network of all ladies league. It's ALL. And we have got women who have shown an interest in what sort of information and what sort of business they want to get into. So they can reach out to everybody. As you can see, beauty and wellness. I think my Wi-Fi is playing up. I hope it gets back to normal. Right. Business opportunities, you can see, if you click that, you can see products. Right, I'll go back. Right. So baby and kids, women, men, everything. Sorry, my network is a bit low. Sorry about that. But this is what we do in terms of reaching out to women who want to get into business in terms of developing themselves as well, and also earn money at the end of the day. And with the impact of COVID, we keep bringing COVID, but it has opened up doors for all of us all over the world. We do a lot of, we've got a lot of women from Nigeria who is actually participating in this. If you look into it, you'll find there is a lot of opportunities about wedding and event management, travel services, baby and kids. You can have home services, you know, like people who can do a lot of things. Does anybody have any question here before I move on to the next category? Yeah, can you see? It also gives you an idea in terms of price range, and everybody can be part of this network. Like there's a business-to-business suppliers, there is packaged food and beverages, there's health and personal care, there's commercial services, healthcare services, skills training and hobbies. We've got travel services, you know. So it's like not something that you would miss. And if you feel that we don't have any products there, then you'll find that it will be there. Yeah. So even with the women thing, you can see all the clothing and everything is there. Similar with men. Yeah. Okay. So I will stop sharing and come back to if there's any question before I take you into another network of place where you can become part of it as well. Any questions for me?
My question to you is this targeted to the local people? So are you saying that you're helping the women to bring their products up and helping them to sell.
Yeah, it is not just to local people, it's all over globally. Our network is made up of all women of all different cultures. There's not just particular women groups, and they become part of the she economy. And through that, they can sell products and make their own money. We do not charge any commission or anything. We're just giving a space for everybody to be part of the network and to see how they can expand. Yeah. So that's one network. Then we have also got the Entrepreneurs Network, which I will discuss a bit more. Is there any more question before we move on? Yeah. So the other network, we call it Wiki. Wiki is the Women's Indian Chamber for Commerce and Industry. And I will share that with you. I will see if I can share a screen so you get a basic idea about what we do. Just a minute. I'm trying to get into the network. Sorry about this. If you can bear with me. Yeah, I'll just see if I can open up Wiki. Yeah. So just coming back to this. Yeah, share screen. So Wiki, this is what we call it. It's the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Now we have got these chambers all over the world. It's a national business chamber for women, Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It builds women's entrepreneurship and businesses through greater engagement with government, institutions, global trade, and networks. So what we have got members over 120 countries at present. As it says, and through that, we also have a Women Economic Forum. We had one in UK just about 2 months ago, and I think Juliet is one of the awardee from that Women Economic Forum, which is a global conference for all women. Now, She Economy I've talked about is our e-commerce and trade platform for both goods and services by women worldwide. So going into this, I can tell you, we have conferences all over the world. I'm just clicking. So the next conference is coming up on the 18th of August in Norway, which is the power of collaboration. And it's happening in Sweden and Norway. So there is different things that happen. Then there is another Wiki National Handloom Council. So if you can go onto Wiki website, you'll find quite a lot of information. You can also see office bearers there, right? That's our global and founder chairperson, Harbin, and she leads different. She leads at a global level. But we have got regional councils and we have got international councils, yeah? So regional, national boards are there, then there is regional boards are there, then there is national sector council. So we have got, so if you go into international council, you'll find a lot of our dear sisters who are based abroad, yeah? Bilateral business councils. So we got women from all over the world, yeah? So sorry, my network is a bit unstable, so you can't see the photos. Sorry about this. Yeah, but you'll find it's like Croatia, Nigeria, all over the world. You'll find everybody there. Then if you go onto our website, it will tell you all about how you can be part of it. I lead the UK-India business partnership. So anybody interested in joining our council, please feel free to talk about it. And then I'll now take you on to, okay, before I take you on to the next lot, let us see if you have any questions about Wiki, because it's all about expanding your business. Yes, tell me, please. Any questions about Wiki or She Economy?
I was going to ask a question about, for example, if we were to sort of sell, if I were to sort of try and sell or promote products from a company called Forever on the She Economy, for example, in India, because you said you have an Indian council.
No, it's all over the world. It has been initiated from India, but it's worldwide. worldwide.
Oh, okay, yeah. So potentially I could use it as, because it's a platform, I could use it as a selling platform. I could use it for
Yes,
development.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no limit. You can reach out anywhere in the world. It's your business. You can develop it. Like, I mean, I've got one lady, one of our members at the organization that I manage. She started cooking sweets, you know, a different healthy sweets without sugar and all that. And she started it last year, which came out slowly. But right now she's making amazing, her business has really flourished. So she's now been approached by John Lewis and Selfridges to go to sort of give them big orders to make sure that she can deliver those good healthy eating bites. Because I think COVID has seen that alternative therapy has played a very high part during the COVID times. Staying healthy and reducing diabetes and also reducing weight has really created a different form of eating, and she has actually tapped into it. And then there's another man I know who has gone into vegan business, and I'll tell you, his business is really booming because he has opened up a number of restaurants in London. And people just want to eat vegan because they don't want to eat meat. So it's all these different ideas that come up. It's all entirely onto individual in terms of how you promote yourself and how you want to take it forward. So your thoughts about your well-being, whether it is MS or whatever, you know, you need to start volunteering. I'm sure you are a very intelligent person, Jules, and you can develop a lot of things, which I'm sure you have lots of ideas about. Any questions on Wiki or She Economy, please?
I just have one more question, just leading on from what I was saying, is that, for example, if I was to say promote a service or something, or like a product on the She Economy, for say the Indian public, who would be translating the information for me, because I don't speak any of the Indian languages.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. You know, if you go on to She Economy, like I said, we've got 250,000 women there, and there is women from all backgrounds. So promoting something in the Indian market, you'll be able to do it, translate your language into Google, and you can actually reach out. Not only that, if you find that is difficult, you can actually reach out to a member in other part of the world and see if they can help you translate. And I'll tell you, believe me, we call them all soul sisters. And believe me, that everybody comes forward in terms of how they can help you and how also your product is promoted. Because I think this is here where we have women and also men are also part of it, because we can't do just women on our own. We need men as an active partners as well in terms of making sure that we get the support that we need. So it's not like a competition with men or women, it's like everywhere.
Yeah, everyone can get involved and help and support.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any question, David? Did you put up your hand, David? If you could unmute yourself, please.
Who's David? Sorry.
David Gitaiga.
Oh, my question is, how has COVID affect businesses these days, and how can these challenges be avoided to make business a success in the COVID world than before?
Well, as we all know, COVID has affected lots, in fact, most of the businesses. And when you talk about generally all over the world, we know the impact it has had on the economy of all the world. I mean, obviously, some countries have been lucky in terms of getting the support from the government. Some countries haven't been that lucky. And some businesses have gone really down the drain. So obviously, but there have also been benefits out of it as well. So not just the disaster, but also the benefits. I mean, obviously, the highest impact is obviously has been on the number of people that we have lost, which is very sad. But to overcome that, I think what has happened, and I can give you an example for UK. I mean, we all know how the travel tourism has failed because of COVID, how hospitality has been impacted on. And there are people who have really, really been suffered. But at the same time, a lot of new ideas have come up, a lot of online business has come up, which we never thought that we'll be sticking to online, working from home, and which has become better because we have all learned, when we went into a forced lockdown, we all learned to eat healthy because there were people who used to eat out so much, which restricted, and that in terms has actually slowed down at the rate we were working, and has made us healthier at the same time. But business has now started, and I think there is still a lot of room for expansion in terms of promoting businesses, and also like the daily wage earners in terms of how we can support them in terms of getting their business, because those are the people we really need to remember that they put their lives at risk to go out to earn for daily living. And it's not only, there are so many different countries. That's where people have been affected. Yeah, I hope I managed to answer that question for you, David.
Yeah, so it means that there are some shortages that come, and then there are some business opportunities that have come due to COVID, and others have gone. So it's as if there's a balance.
There's a balance. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. The other thing I can say is the businesses in UK right now have really gone down. Now, there are so many small businesses who used to like travel and have an office back in London just to go and do work. Now, those people do not want to now have those offices. They said they have managed to work effectively from home, so why do they pay rent for it? So in other words, they will be working from home. So what happened to those office spaces that will be vacant? So what has happened is there's a lot of shortage of housing. So a lot of businesses with big businesses are actually converting them into houses. So housing will become a greater priority for people because there's a lot of homelessness around there as well. So it's like there is benefits everywhere. When you look at it, the positive, it's there. Yeah. So positive and negative. And obviously there is a balance. And obviously there is also a midway where people will have to look into it, because obviously there are some people who have actually suffered and may not even be able to get out of the damage that has happened to them. But there are ways, I'm sure, to overcome that in the near term, because I think one of the biggest issue that has been is obviously your well-being needs. And I think in the earlier session, we talked about public health. I mean, a lot of people have ended up having a lot of mental health needs. And last year, when during the early time of COVID, when people were losing so many, and I'll tell you, all of us, you would not find some person who would say that, oh, I haven't lost anybody. Either you've lost a sibling, a parent, or a friend, or a relative, or somebody. Everybody has been impacted. Now, some people who have had a sibling or an immediate relative that they've lost, but they were too busy trying to shield themselves, so they've not been able to go through that bereavement process. And now that they're coming out of the lockdown, it is having an impact on their well-being needs. And a lot of health issues are coming out, especially with the NHS frontline workers, At that time, there was like seeing bodies after bodies and getting on with life. But now it's coming to reality as to what they've been doing. So different impact on different people and how they overcome it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, so
very much answer.
Oh, thanks, David. Thank you so much. Right. So Krishna, some questions have started coming through. There is one particularly that I would like to call out. Hopefully, you can respond to that one.
Is that number 8 or number 6?
so I'll read it out. Yeah, I'll read it out. That's from Juliet. Right. She has asked the question, building a network of entrepreneurial success. Okay, why is it that Asian business succeed and Africans we seem to struggle. How can you help us with our barriers?
I'll tell you one thing, I don't think that is right. Julia, thank you. That's a good question, because Africans are really good at business. I'll tell you, we're doing a lot of business in Africa, and Africans are really great at doing business. I mean, obviously, different countries have different situations. I mean, obviously, and I think a lot of African countries are looking in terms of how the politics play a role. I'm sorry, but I have to say this. And in terms of how we promote the business, because different countries have got different policies, different ways of doing business, and how you go through the government channel. Now, Asian businesses succeed, and I'll tell you, I can say that yes, right now, obviously, I mean, when you think about it, I am an East African. We came into this country in UK about 45 years ago, and this was part of what happened in Uganda. Now, what happened was, at that time, we were refugees, and how we actually started building up from there and to come out of the difficulties, and how, being united, people started buying corner shops, people started earning, low earning and all that. This is just an example. And how now Asians make the economy of UK, because all the hoteliers, all the hotels, corner shops, pharmacies, accountants, you name it, majority of them are owned by Asians. And it's all the hard work. And I'll tell you, we've got a lot of African partners in the businesses as well. So I don't think I'll agree that Africans are struggling. Africans are equally really great. I think it's just, at times, it's on terms of how you tap into resources within different countries and how you can utilize that. Yes? Martin,
thank you.
Next question.
Thank you, Krishna. I think the questions are all centered around the same area, really. Yes. I think there's one to call out as well. So she's asked, how do we build the network of success when it comes, when in some communities we have disunity? How do we solve such? That's also from Juliet.
How do we, what's number what?
You know what? Let's skip that one. Let's go on to number 5, because it's pretty similar. So number 5, here in the UK, how can Africans and Caribbeans be borrowing from Asians? Good example of business strategy.
That's a good one. Okay, what it is basically, I'll tell you something. We do a lot of work with the Africans and Caribbeans. They are amazing. I'll tell you, we can't survive without African food. I mean, I personally cannot survive without African food. We eat a lot of yuca and the sweet potatoes and the bananas and all that. But coming back to what it is, Asians, and I think it's all on the culture of what business people want to go into. In terms of what? Now, Africans play a very active role in terms of developing businesses as well. The Asian people, they are known as like business-minded people, but it's difficult, you know, like, what would you like to borrow from Asians? Good example of business strategy. I think Africans have a similar family strategy. We all have similar background, because, you know, at the end of the day, we are all social animals, and we all come with the same background, because we're all, majority of us were all born in Africa, and we know how helping and making a difference to people's lives make a lot of difference. But some people want to make quick money, and that's not easy. Everybody has struggled, and I think we have all struggled, and we also struggle even at present in terms of making sure that we are successful. Not everybody is successful, because it's difficult, but you just get the right idea and the right solution. I think, talking about UK, everybody is successful. You will never suffer, because in terms of moving forward, there is always opportunity. Whoever wants to do something, they can do it. There are people who do not want to take any opportunity because they're scared in terms of if they lose their benefits or something. But then there are people who want to take the opportunity and come out of that little pot and move forward and make money and earn their living, you know, and through that success happens.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.